Hi everybody, I'm out in the woods. Psych. Branch. We're out in the woods, we're gonna have some fun with a chainsaw so I can get to camping. Fellas gotta camp. Hey guys, Jay from Simple Woods Life. How the hell's it going? There's unrest in the forest. Trouble with the trees. For the maples want more sunlight, but the oaks ignore their pleas. No, we're not quoting the Holy Triumvirate today. What's happening here is, I'm a simple guy. I'm a simple guy living a simple life in the woods. That's the name of this channel, Simple Woods Life. Hi everybody, it's Jay from Simple Woods Life. That's why we call it Simple Woods Life. That's if you were wondering why it's called Simple Woods Life, we just blew the lid off of that one, eh? Now you know. And one of the simple things I like to do, quite simply, is to camp under the stars, out in the woods, but I can't always go camping. I don't always have the time to take 2, 3, 4 days off, or even just all the work to go for a night. So what I did is I built myself a campsite here, and I modeled it after an Ontario Provincial Parks campsite. That's what I did, but I can't get to it. And why can't I get to it? Well, what happened was we had ourselves a little bit of weather not too long ago. This big ice storm came through, covered all. It was quite pretty, but like literally encased blades of grass and tree limbs with ice, which is obviously heavier than the trees used to. You know, what is the tree used to? Air. Well, now it's ice. You see what happens? So we lost quite a few trees completely. Some of them we've just lost the tops of, this big cedar here, but I can't even get into the woods. So this morning I grabbed the 250. We're gonna do some trail clearance, some trail maintenance, so we can go camping. Let's go cut some down, bud.
I'm having a good time. Not.
Good morning. Had a bit of a pickle, a little bit of a pickle there with this thing not stopping. Nice dill pickle, zesty pickle, polski ork. I called it quits after I couldn't get it to turn off. Well, I ended up choking it out, just dropping it down to full choke, and it choked itself out, right? So it certainly does feel like every single project I start in my quest for a simple life in the woods. What is that? I'm not asking for a state-of-the-art, each room I walk into, lights turn on, music plays, temperatures adjust. I'm not Tony Stark, okay? I'm trying to channel my inner Dick Pernecki and just be like at one with what's going on. Alls I wants to do is goes camps, and here's what happened, all right? First thing I do is I go to the manual. I'm not one of those fellas that doesn't read the instructions. I read all the stuff. Part of my career was designing things like this. So, you know, there's a lot of time and work and QA and linguistics and everything that goes into it, but it also has to contain some information. Do you guys know about the 250? Here's a little tip for you. Drop that into full choke so you can pop the cover off. If you don't, you're never gonna get it back on. So, here's a couple of 3 things. Number 1, this little wire here, see this hanging out? that's not just out here. The Germans didn't just throw that out there and say, you know, that's where that goes. This wire actually does a pretty important function, which explains the problems I was having. It's meant to touch the metal and it short circuits the saw, which shuts it off. So this wire, she slides into there. Now, I've got full choke, I've got half choke, I've got on, but it doesn't hook into off. So I'm looking through all of this. Like I said, there's nothing in here. So I start Googling. A surprising lack of information on this, but one thing that just struck me as odd, okay? We're talking German engineering. Like, there's nothing really better on the planet. That should not just come in and out that quick. So that's where I started looking, and I started looking at photos of the saw, but I couldn't really get a clear outlook. And this is actually 2 days after we tried chainsawing, because yesterday when I was doing this, it was pouring. Millie and I loaded up in the truck and we took a little excursion and we ended up at the steel place. And I talked to them, showed them the saw, and they saw the same thing I did. There's something missing. It's a $16.46 part. And I guess it's this whole plastic area here, and that's, something has snapped off here. But I had to special order this switch shaft. So once the switch shaft is in, this thing will turn off. I can turn it on though, eh? So there's a part of me that's thinking, do I just get out there and know that I can turn the saw off by just putting it down to full choke? Or I could even bring the 391 out. But like, she's a beast. Substantially heavier than this little jobby. It's kind of where we're at in terms of trying to figure out what we're doing for the chainsaw. But I'm not going to worry you about that. I'm going to make this decision off screen, and you'll travel with the power of YouTube to where I net out. And it might not be safe, but it'll be simple, or I'll be simple. Either way, it'll be simple. Hello, Millie. Oh, Millie. Come here, Millie. What are you thinking?
What are you thinking? Are you thinking about the things?
That came down so hard it went into the ground. Believe the word zoinks, guys. I think that earned us a, don't you think? I think it did. Okay. It's not prettiest, but it's functional. Function before form in this instance. We'll come back later, not today, not tomorrow, with the cart, and we'll get all the stuff that I felled, and we'll bring it back to the woodlot to process it. But you know what? This is pretty decent, so we can come camping tomorrow. Well, everybody, there we go. A little bit of camping, pre-camping. I don't know. Trying to do a little bit of alliteration, and it's not working. But that's it. That's all for part 1. So I'm glad we split it up. I think that was a good choice. The wind is bullshit. These trees are just. Imagine being in a hammock tonight, just like. Actually, it might have been the sleep of my life. I don't know. Thank you for hanging out with me. We almost avoided injury. This is why you gotta listen to your gut, eh? Because I knew it was gonna happen. The second it happened, I was like, well, no, moments before it was happening, I was like, I shouldn't be cutting this like this. And then I thought, and that log was dense. She was a girthy log, and she made a good bit of contact there. So maybe I'll get a cool bruise out of it. And, you know, all the cats will be like, look at this tough guy, he's all bruised up. And then people will wonder why I've just been walking around town shirtless. Check out my bruise.
Oh, how'd you get that?
Wasn't paying attention when I was chainsawing. I'm a fucking badass. Okay. I'm gonna finish my Molson Canadian, the finest of the Canadian beers. And then we got this sleepover, so I gotta go make some lodge poppers, jalapenos, stuffing them with cream cheese and wrapping them in bacon. And the kids want burgers. Miss Lady made a roasted red pepper dip for them, and I think they wanted to watch scary movies. No thank you. No thank you. I don't like scary movies. I don't like them. I like better movies than that. Scary movies are scary, and I don't like being scared because my brain doesn't shut off. You watch a movie and then like you go, okay, that was funny. That guy just got impaled with a pickaxe, and the monster jumped out and bit his head off. And then you go on with your day. I don't. My brain's it's not built for scary movies. Miss Lady made me go to the cinema one time to see Ouija. I sat through Ouija. I didn't like it. I don't like the way it makes me feel. And I believe in 2025, you're not allowed to judge me if I don't like spooky movies. I don't care that you like Hallmark rom-coms. Yeah, I know you do. Nothing wrong with it. You knock yourself out. You know what? If you got popcorn, I'll watch it with you until the popcorn's gone. I've gone so far down this rabbit hole, it's almost like we're camping. I'm hoping that camping goes well and we can film part 2 and get that out to you shortly.
Will Jay ever get to go camping? Will the wind blow him out of his hammock? Has the Weather Network lied and sunshine will be replaced by snow? Can he cook his dinner over an open fire? If you have the intestinal fortitude to learn the answer to the questions, tune in Thursday night. Same simple time, same simple channel.